What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Don't Know Ball podcast. As always, my name is Isaac Isringhausen, and I'm joined by Josh Coloni, and Lucas Dalton. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Well, pretty good. I can't complain. Life's been interesting the last month and a half since we last recorded. Spent a lot of time with you losers.
Yes, a lot of time.
I spent so much time with you guys.
It's great. It's so much fun.
It's like actually insane that it's actually insane that like we didn't think to record while we were in person.
Yeah. I think I could probably suggest why, but we'll leave that up for the listeners to decide. It could always record from the Green Day concert tomorrow. So
what was that?
We could always record from the Green Day concert tomorrow. So whatever.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Or I can record while I'm at work interviewing coaches. That's also a good idea.
Yeah, gets free guests that way.
Exactly.
Free guests.
You know? Should have asked Spencer Patton if he wanted to be on.
Spencer Patton would have been a fun guest. He would have him and his Chris Carter home runs and Adeiny Hechavarria. Speaking of, somebody out there listening has to know who Adeiny Hechavarria is because Izzy does not, and I was astonished by that. Lucas, you know who it is.
No, I've heard you say his name.
I know of that name, yes. I don't necessarily know what he did, but I do know the name.
That's insane. Man, I got to get y'all's random ball player knowledge up.
Well, I mean that's your job.
It is my job. Yes, it's my specialty.
You're supposed to be the random ball player fella.
Yeah, that's me.
I mean,
loud and proud.
Josh, I think you're the only person in the world right now who still owns a Matt Bowman jersey.
I have 3.
So yeah, that's like 4 more than you should have.
That's crazy.
Well, guilty as charged. That is pending MLB contract signee Matt Bowman to you, by the way. He will be on a major league team sometime this week. Maybe.
He will be, but not the Cardinals.
I don't want you to wish that negativity upon me, so.
Well, who would we get rid of?
Kyle Leahy.
Brandon Crawford.
Yep.
DFA shortstop for a pitcher.
Yep.
And then we have to send down a pitcher. Yeah, Brandon Crawford.
Yeah,
man.
it's Brandon Crawford.
That double we saw in person the other week
was the last
electrifying.
hit he'll get all year.
Yeah.
That's probably the only hit I've seen him get this season.
Yeah, that was the Tommy Pham Grand Slam game, for anybody wondering.
That just rolls off the tongue very well.
It does. For 2020,
guys, I know I made the joke several times throughout the trade deadline, for 2 reasons. What year is this? I mean, Matt Carpenter, Lance Lynn, and Tommy Pham are back all on the Cardinals.
Jorge Soler's back on the Braves.
And Jorge Soler's back on the Braves in a year where Ronald Acuna tears his ACL. So are we in 2017 or are we in 2021? I can't. Can someone please direct me of what's going on?
We are in a great 2024 year.
Yeah, because then you look elsewhere where Jackson Holliday is great now finally, and there's got to be someone else. Royce Lewis is the best player I've ever seen it ever.
Yeah, Royce Lewis is crazy.
In all seriousness, good for Jackson Holliday because I'm rooting for him to succeed.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, me too.
He'll be a Cardinal when he's 38.
Yep.
Hey, no, 45.
No, but since we've recorded last, we've been to. Well, I've been to a lot of baseball games. We all went to one. The Don't Know Ball podcast group was at the Tommy Pham game. Me and Lucas went to Minnesota.
Yep.
Yes.
Target Field is great. I love their music choices. I don't.
We went to
love some of their fan base. That's okay. It was a good time.
We went to 2 games at Target Field, and we got to see Royce Lewis hit home runs at both games.
And they have a excellent Griffin Jacks bullpen intro. It might be better
and
than
the
Ryan Helsley's.
Sunday game might have quite possibly been the longest game of all time between the Twins and the White Sox.
13-7 Twins win. It was the hottest 82 degrees I've ever lived in my life.
Yeah, it was very hot for no reason.
Okay, speaking of the White Sox, real quick, I saw this on Facebook and I got a good laugh out of it 2 hours ago. If they were to somehow win 86 games this season, they would win the Central. Like, they had to win 86 more games to win the Central.
Well, we were talking before you got on the contrary, to even beat the worst record, like, so to not have the worst record of all time, they have to have their best 43-game stretch they've had all year. So they're pretty much solidified to have the worst season by a major league team ever. Which is crazy that you can have both things at once, hypothetically. I think one is much more likely than the other.
Yeah, I think they're going to go on an 86-game winning streak.
Yeah.
Yep, 86-game winning streak with only 43 games left. Yep.
Shoot, never mind.
I'm an enjoyer of bad baseball players, but sitting there and watching the White Sox and putting some wagers down on them or against them, I have not once watched a team in person that is so bad on a major league field ever. I mean, ever.
Imagine losing 2 out of 3 to them at home in May.
That was rough.
Could have done that. Yeah.
Do you remember, Josh, when we went up there literally, a week and a half ago, whatever it was now?
A week and a half.
Luis Robert had a 103 OPS plus.
Yes. We
Do you know what he has now?
It's got to be 90.
It is 83.
So he's been really bad lately.
So
that goes to a conversation that me and Lucas had. Izzy, on the offensive side, and we'll do the pitching side, the White Sox have used 28 players this year, and 2 of them have had a league average OPS plus or better. Could you name them?
Okay. Oh, gosh.
They're both relevant.
How many? They're both relevant. Okay, like, do they have to, like, are they still currently on the team?
Neither. Well, one is injured, one is not on the team.
Is Tommy Pham one of them?
Tommy Pham is one of them with 101 OPS plus, just barely beating the criteria. The other one is injured.
Oh, gosh. Outfielder?
Infielder.
Infielder, okay.
Why don't I remember?
Paul DeYoung.
Yeah, Paul DeYoung. Paul DeYoung at a 96. He just barely missed out.
It wouldn't be Andrew Vaughn, would it?
It would not be Andrew Vaughn. He's got a 93. He has been one of their better hitters this year. Currently the best hitter on the team.
Yoan Moncada?
It is Yoan Moncada. He has 119 in 11 games. So
yeah, that's it.
You take away... Pham was their best hitter all year. You take Pham away.
Yep.
It was DeYoung. And now you take DeYoung away, it's... I mean, considering sample sizes and such, their best hitter is definitely Andrew Vaughn, who's not great. It's embarrassing. Like, that is an embarrassing MLB offense. And then you look at the pitching side, and it's really not much different. They've got, let's see.
No.
Let me count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 6 pitch. They've used 29 pitchers this year. 6 of them have an ERA plus above league average. Lucas, you can play along because this has definitely changed since we've last talked about it. Can you guys name them?
I know Chad Kuhl is still there.
Chad Kuhl is still there. 3 of them are starters, 3 of them are relievers.
Garrett Crochet.
Garrett Crochet is also there.
That's the only one I can think of.
Eric Fetty is also there.
Shout out Eric Fetty too. He shoved in his last Cardinal start. Just saying.
Pretty good.
Yay, woohoo! We traded for a guy who's only had 1 season with an ER4.
Oh boy.
Yippee.
Oh boy. The other ones, Lucas, one of them we talked about in Minnesota.
Is it? We talked about.
There's a starter, a reliever. Oh, hold on. There's 2 relievers and 2 starters that you guys haven't got.
I couldn't think of it. I seriously can't.
One of them got traded.
John Brebbia.
I don't know if...
John Brebbia.
No, John Brebbia has an ERA of 5.84, good for an ERA plus of 72. He's been...
Baroa? There's no way Baroa.
Prelander, unfortunately, has a 13.50 ERA. I love me some Prelander Baroa, but not him. We saw 2 of these guys pitch in person, Lucas. And 2 of them are the exact same from last time. Is it
that other starter? Is it that other starter that I can't think of his name that we saw?
Davis Martin?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, yep. He's got an 118 OPS plus. Or ERA plus.
Davis Martin, because he was actually good in his last start. I remember I saw that he was really good. There's another starter still?
Yeah, I'll give you guys the name. I don't think Jonathan Cannon. I don't expect you guys to know Jonathan Cannon.
Oh, I could have guessed that because I'm with my White Sox.
And the last two are relievers. One got traded to the Phillies, and one is still on the team, and has probably been their best pitcher that's not Crochet all year.
One got traded to the Phillies. Who's the White Sox that got traded to the Phillies? Like this year?
Yep, just at the deadline. Lefty.
Oh my God, I know his name. Tanner Banks.
It is Tanner Banks, and the last one is Chad Kuhl.
Chad Kuhl.
This is a team that's
speaking of the White Sox, breaking news, guys.
They beat the Yankees tonight.
Yeah, no, 12-2.
Yeah, they killed them.
Kind of embarrassing.
Year.
Yep.
So 29.
As of recording,
29 and 91.
It's August 12th as of recording, and they've won 29 games. That is freaking pathetic.
They also had a stretch in May where they won 4 in a row, which says a lot. Since July 10th, since I moved into my house in the middle of July, they've won twice.
They're 29 and 91. Like, that's just, man.
Since we started renovating our house, they've won, which feels like it was 2 months ago. They've won 5 times, which is not really what you want as a major league team.
No,
you want to win more than that.
I genuinely think there are a few minor league teams that could beat them.
Yes, 100%. 100%. But I think if one last thing on them, I think it's fun to mention. Their new manager.
Oh yeah, Grady Sizemore.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, that is cool. That I did see that, and I think that's awesome.
Did you hear what his duties were with the team before?
No.
He was basically what Willie McGee is.
Oh.
Like not a bench coach. He wasn't a hitting coach. He was just like an extra guy in the dugout.
So
just an advisor?
Pretty much.
Didn't they already say too that he's not staying past this year?
Pretty much.
Didn't they say they're good? Yeah, they said he's just an interim and they're going to look outside the organization.
I mean, genuinely, somebody's got to do it, and they fired a lot more than just Pedro Grifol. They fired Charlie Montoyo. I think they fired a couple hitting coaches. Like they did. Somebody had to do it. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Grady Sizemore volunteered. Like.
Honestly, yeah.
Who's going to willingly want to do this?
I mean, to be fair, it helps you get into the managerial role.
Yeah, like I'm sure he's great about it.
Yeah. It's just like Pedro Grifol was not good because like when he threw his players under the bus, and it's just like that's not a good look for you.
Never really managed them well last year. They were 61 and 101.
Pedro Grifol was not good. He was with the Royals when the Royals were awful. It seems like Pedro Grifol is just like the scapegoat manager of like really bad teams.
Well, I will give him credit. This was a team that they've been run poorly longer than they've been run well. They were a clown show under Tony La Russa. I mean, before that it was... Who managed them before that?
I couldn't tell you.
Hang on.
Let me see. I know there was a time that Ozzie Guillen managed them, and they were bad under Ozzie. Rick Renteria was there for a while.
Hang on, let's look at their managers. Yeah, it was Rick Renteria was before Tony La Russa, and before Tony La Russa, it was Robin Ventura.
That's right, Robin Ventura, not Ozzie Guillen. Robin Ventura, I know, had his fair share of interesting times with the White Sox. So really, outside of, I mean, they had the one good year in 2020.
Yeah, they did.
2021. They made the playoffs in 21.
And 2020.
Yeah.
I'm talking about under Renteria.
Oh, okay.
They made the playoffs under 20. Oh, what happened?
Yeah, they did.
Well,
that was the year that Tony La Russa got onto Mancada for hitting a grand slam off a position player on a 3-0
That was Yermin Mercedes.
Yermin Mercedes. I always get those two mixed up, and I don't know why.
That's okay.
Mercedes just like disappeared off the earth.
Do you guys remember after that ordeal? I don't know how deep you guys are into baseball, folks, on Instagram. Do you remember did you see what he posted on his Instagram?
No.
He announced his retirement or something.
El Retiro with a thinking emoji, which is honestly kind of sad, but it's also kind of funny.
Yeah, that's insane.
The ash joke he must have been like generational.
I remember whenever La Russa like made the comment about him hitting that home run off the position player. Lance Lynn said, I don't remember what Lance Lynn said, but like he stuck up for the guy, and La Russa's response to that was, "That's why I have an office and you just have a locker," or something like that. I'm like, dude, you cannot say that in this day and age. Like that might have worked in the '90s and 2000s, but it's not going to work now.
Yeah, no. Tony
it's
La Russa
funny because La Russa
was a bad hire for them.
Being around Lance Lynn a lot, I'm surprised that he said that.
I think people give a lot of teams shit for being like the poorly run teams, like the Rockies, the Pirates, and the A's. But if you look at the White Sox over the last 30 years, minus their World Series in 2005 and a couple good years here and there, like, especially since 2013, what the fuck have they done? Like they had a couple years where they made the playoffs. Like I don't know.
They don't get enough criticism for being as bad as they've been.
Like I don't know. I thought they were going to be better this year. I didn't think they were going to be great, but I thought they had a decent offseason. But clearly, no.
It's crazy too.
Them last.
Yeah, I figured they'd finish last, but I thought they'd be competent.
Oh, I figured they'd be. I knew they'd be bad. I didn't think they'd be this bad. I genuinely thought it'd be like a competition between them and the A's for who was going to be the worst team in baseball. It's not even close.
Well, and I think I'm glad we bring that up because me and Lucas talked about this pretty extensively in Minnesota one night, which is kind of weird, but not really. The A's should be praised for how they've done this year. For as much shit as they've gotten for their relocation and how bad they are, they're not great. But their offense is actually pretty good. They have some talent on their team. Like they've got a really good offense.
Don't disagree because granted it was early in the year, but they were drawing comparisons to the Indians in Major League whenever they had Mason Miller who was going off and they were only a handful of games under 500. Because like people were drawing that comparisons like, man, like they could go on this run to spite the owner, but unfortunately it was just a hot stretch that they had that didn't really sustain much longer past that.
I mean, they're 50 and 69. They've been hot since the All-Star break, but like, I mean, you look at their team, they've got, I mean, they're not above and like outside of Brent Rooker, none of them are like league-shattering hitters. But for a bad team to have, they have a plethora of guys that have been well above league average. Shea Langeliers, Max Schumann, you probably haven't heard of him. Miguel Andujar has been really good this year. J.J. Baudet, Lawrence Butler, and Brent Rooker are a really good trio. Like it's a good team. Like a good foundation for a team. It sucks that they're going to leave Oakland, but like I don't know. Like you're obviously their goal is to get to Vegas in whatever year that's going to be and be competitive. And I think they've at least made the right steps to make that happen. They need pitching.
Yeah,
it's crazy because I looked up Lawrence Butler from where did I look him up from? From July 1st from like July 1st to today, Lawrence Butler is hitting 323 with 11 home runs since July 1st.
Really good ball player.
And Baudet with 35 doubles this year or something.
Hold on, let me cook up a narrative that I started at the beginning of the year. Let me just
because like there's some days where Zach Geloff is Zach Geloff. No, it's weird because like you see randomly the A's just have all these like really these random like offensive explosion games.
Zach Geloff has hit some home runs this season. That's about it. I was wrong about Zach Geloff. Hopefully not long term. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I think they're good. I mean, there's some teams in baseball with the White Sox you can give shit for. I think the Rockies are a fair one, but I don't know. I feel like the A's get an unfair amount of shit from media and fans for how they are. And I guess what I'm trying to say is they're trying, and I think it's pretty obvious that they're trying. I think if you take away the reputation bullshit, that it's not as harsh. But I don't know. I think good for the A's. Somebody needs to give them the props that they deserve for at least trying.
I don't necessarily disagree because we're not too far removed from them competing with the Astros for this team in the NL West or the AL West. I mean,
it's a completely
back when they had
Olsen
and Chapman and all those guys. It's like, imagine if they would have kept Olsen, Chapman, and Semien, how good they would be. They're just too cheap to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I think at the same time though, you got to think about what they got for. Well, I don't know because I think none of these guys they've gotten came from any of them. The best trade they've
they came from the Marlins.
Yeah, from Puck. That was great. I was just going to say that's the best trade they've made in a long time. I think Brent Rooker was a waiver claim, which...
He was a waiver claim, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. So, you're right. You make a good point, Izzy. Like, none of these guys... I mean, they've got some pitchers that sparked from those trades, but they all kind of suck. You add an Olsen here. Chapman doesn't move me, but I'll say Olsen and Semien. This is a pretty good offense. Like, there's no holes. There's no true holes.
Yeah, Sean Murphy. Catcher situations.
They kept Sean Murphy too. I just now thought of
that. They've had a pretty good duo this year. Langoliers and their backup Kyle McCann have both hit fairly well, and I think Sean Murphy's having a bad year. Is he not?
Sean Murphy, yeah, he's not great. The Braves in general aren't having a good year.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna bounce teams, that's a good one to talk about too, because the Braves have been not good.
I mean, I love how we just started this by talking about horrific baseball teams this year. White Sox and A's talk.
I mean,
honestly, like, that's not a bad segue too, because we're getting closer to the end of the season, and I mean, that's really been the most disappointing team in my opinion is the Braves, because I had them. They were my pick to represent the NL.
I mean, I don't even know if you could really. I mean, they've had some pitching injuries. But, like, you can't really put injuries on the whole team. Like, Olsen has sucked. I mean, for his standard. He's still been, like, in the grand scheme of things, he's average this year. But, like, for Matt Olsen, average is really disappointing. Like, that's a really good year.
Is he average?
103 OPS plus, 20 homers. So, I mean, he's been
barely.
20 homers. Acuna, when he was healthy, was nothing special.
No.
Austin Riley's, but he's figured it out lately. Kelnick has not been good. Harris has not been good, but he's injured anyways. Albies got hurt. Sean Murphy's had a down year. Like I could see why they're not great. Jorge Soler's been great since he's got there though, which that doesn't surprise me at all. I don't know.
Shout out Chris Sale.
Chris Sale, who is currently dealing against the Giants. I have this game on, and him and Blake Snell are just tit for tat tonight.
Yeah, Blake Snell had some goose eggs in the hit column again after 6 innings today.
I saw that.
Yeah, but, man, Blake Snell. It's crazy because he's really, in my opinion, not all that great.
No, I've never.
I don't disagree. I mean, that was like his no hitter was like his only start where he went past the 7th in his career.
And
he's been in the league for how many years?
We talked a lot of baseball in Minnesota. We talked about Blake Snell too, or sometime when we hung out about how he was probably the worst 2-time Cy Young Award winner ever.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Like, I mean,
because he's only an All-Star once.
Yeah, his career accolades. Like, if you look at the awards, 2-time Cy Young, 2-time ERA title. It's like, damn, this guy. You know, those are big things, but just not really. Just not great. I mean, he's been an All-Star once. He's got. I mean. He's got a career ERA of 3.27. It's not like he's terrible. I'm not saying that. He's just not like. I don't know. He's just nothing great.
You also have to take those numbers with a grain of salt because he only goes into the 5th inning.
That's the problem. I think
like as soon as he gets into the 5th inning, like they take him out.
He's eclipsed 180 innings twice, and it was literally right at 180 both times. He's never come close to 200. And if you take away those 180 innings in 18 and 23, the most he's ever gone is 120. Like.
That's insane.
He's just, I don't know. He's the modern day starter.
Oh, you are not wrong. Chris Sale today, 7 innings, 3 hits, 12 strikeouts. Blake Snell 6 1/3, 2 hits, 11 strikeouts.
So I think the talk of the Braves, I think it'll segue into our next conversation. But this is a team that should have sold at the deadline. I think. I mean, that's a hot take because I know they're still in a playoff spot, and they still are, I think, currently. But like. I don't know. You still got a future in front of you. You trade Ozuna, you dangle Sale. Somebody would have traded for Sale, even with the contract that he just got.
Yeah.
I mean,
Definitely.
That's not the worst take I've heard because, I mean, yeah,
because
that's
you sell off a couple pieces
like,
doesn't mean you can't compete this year.
Right,
you can still, yeah.
To be honest, your best players are still in their 20s. Acuna is still in his 20s. Riley is still in his 20s. Strider.
You trade
Harris, Albies.
Ozuna, who's 33 and not part of your future plans, who's been awesome this year. Chris Sale's 35. Raisel Iglesias is 34, and they've arguably been the three best players on this team this year. Trade them. They're not going to be a part of the future for more than 2 or 3 years, and you still have your core, and you add to it. I don't know. That's how I would have done it if I was the Braves, but they were. I think they bought it. I mean, outside of Soler, they're fairly quiet. But go.
Yeah, they just released Rosario or whatever because he's been the worst player in baseball this year. Rosario has a -2 WAR. Eddie Rosario, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot he was in the Braves. Yeah, he has
a -2 WAR already. Like they already, but that's a lot to accumulate. I feel like.
Well, 91 games, he's got a 49 OPS plus. He's batting 175, and if you take his 10 homers away, it's you can't just take him away, but that's been his bread and butter this year is an occasional home run. But that gets us into the trade deadline, I think, if that's what you guys want to talk about.
Trade deadline, yeah.
Definitely one of the two big things.
The winner of the deadline, Marlins.
Miami Marlins. Yeah.
100%.
You think so?
100%.
Well, I mean, I'm curious. What you seem to disagree, Izzy? What do you think? Because I think there's a conversation.
I don't know. I personally like looking at there weren't really that many moves that like I'm trying to think because like
there's not a lot of moves that like really help the team a lot.
So like, I guess the way to look at it is, are you looking at winner in terms of who's gonna benefit from their trades right now, or are you just talking about in general? Because I think that the answer is different.
If we're talking about like right now, I would say that the Orioles, because they definitely they're definitely proven that they want to go out and compete for a championship right now. The problem is that they're the only team that, at least in my opinion, made moves that like show that they want to win now and they are wanting to make that push. If that makes sense.
No, totally.
Like, there weren't a whole lot of teams that like. I felt like outside of the Orioles, basically every other team was just lateral in terms of in 2024.
I think if you're looking at teams that added strictly to the major league team and you don't look at the other side, the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Yankees stick out. They all did. I mean, the Dodgers specifically, I think if you're looking at just buying teams, the Dodgers won the deadline. They got Jack Flaherty for next to nothing. They got Ahmed Rosario, who they didn't even need after a week, which is crazy. And the Yankees did. I mean, Jazz Chisholm was exactly what they needed. And the Padres have a death bullpen. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have looked at their bullpen, but it's insane. But on the flip side, the Padres overpaid for everything they did. Their Tanner Scott trade was horrendous, I think, long term.
Well,
I mean, you got a rental reliever, and they traded 2 of their top 5 organizational prospects, which I nailed the day of, by the way. Just saying.
You did.
I got that.
It was insane watching you just cook with that.
That was a proud Josh moment. But I do think, in the grand scheme of things, the winner of the deadline has to be the Marlins. I mean, they fucking cooked. I don't know who their GM is after Kim Ng, but he did fantastic.
They got, what, like 12 new prospects in their top 30 or even more than that, maybe?
Let me see. They've got. Let me see if I can find a list of guys that they got. So they added Robbie Snelling, Adam Major, Connor Norby, Augustine Ramirez, and Devison De Los Santos, who are all decent prospects, and Kyle Stowers, and Graham Pauley. Which right there's 8 guys that are close to, if not already impacting the major league team that have high upside. And then they added like 6 more guys that are lower level minors. And it was, I mean, Tanner Scott was pretty good, but largely for players that who cares? Like,
yeah,
Brian De La Cruz is okay. Trevor Rogers has not been that good. AJ Puck's just another reliever. So is Brazaban and Chargois and Hoying. I mean, I know Jazz Chisholm was their guy, but like, I don't know. They did really good. I think that Marlins team, add what they already have to this, that might be a pretty good team in a couple years.
Also, like, didn't they get like a decent amount for Brian De La Cruz, and he like kind of sucks?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's got what, like the 5th worst WAR this year, Brian De La Cruz, and then the Pirates traded for him, and I don't know.
I don't know, but there is one player that they did subtract that I think we're talking about hot stretches. Josh Bell. Again, something me and Lucas talked about in Minnesota. But Izzy, have you seen anything about Josh Bell over the course of the last 3 weeks?
I don't think so.
So since becoming a Diamondback, he is batting. It's been a while since I checked this, so it might not be as impressive as it used to be. He is batting .286 with a .991 OPS and 4 home runs in 10 games. He's been very good for the Diamondbacks, especially given the fact that they got him for money and no players. So good, go Josh Bell. Woohoo.
I wanted to talk about the Diamondbacks for a second because, oh boy, they're really good.
Are you surprised?
Again. No, I mean it's scary to me that the Diamondbacks are as good as they are with Corbin Carroll still being as mid as he is.
Yep, I'm not surprised. I feel like this is a team that they're too talented to not be good.
Well, because Jock Peterson is just amazing this year.
I think the Cardinals need to retain Tommy Pham and bring in Jock Peterson and just let it all
settle
out
the beat
next year.
Yep.
Speaking of those two, before we continue, we always talk about Brad Thompson, Chip Carey on the broadcast. Lucas, did you hear what Chip Carey said earlier?
Probably not.
Beginning of the game, Tommy Pham's batting, and Chip's like, Tommy Pham's always hit really well here at Great American Ballpark. And I know what he was talking about. It was the slap. Which is great. I love that.
That's great. I love Chip Carey.
No, but anyways, back to the Diamondback. He's great. Back to the Diamondback.
But no, it's Corbin Carroll's genuinely I really think he has shoulder problems, and it'll come out in the offseason that he needs surgery and he'll miss the beginning of next year. But he has not been good this year at all. He's been better lately.
Afloat.
And they're still good. They're good. Their pitching is good. Merrill Kelly's coming back, so it's I don't know. Are they going to make the World Series again? No.
I mean, I don't think they were. They weren't poised to do so last year necessarily. It was one of those hot.
No, but it would have been awesome to see them win.
They're a good team. Ketel Marte is having an insanely good season. I don't think enough people talk about that. He has 30 home runs. Bet y'all didn't know that.
Nobody ever talks about Ketel Marte.
I was going to say, that's going to segue into something I kind of saw a few nights ago on TikTok was debating MVP conversations, and this is assuming that we don't want to put Shohei in the MVP conversation because he's strictly a DH.
Well, I don't think
someone suggested that Ketel Marte could, the Diamondbacks win 90 games, someone said Ketel Marte should be in that conversation.
He should.
And it made me go in and look at his numbers, and I'm like, holy crap, this is insane.
He's always been so underappreciated because he had that what was it 13 or 14 straight games in the postseason last year with a hit, something like that, some crazy hit streak in the playoffs, and he always does that. That's just what he does, and it's
I mean, I think Ketel Marte is one of the most underappreciated players in baseball, personally. But I mean, I'm pulling up WAR and stats and stuff.
299 with 30 homers this year for Ketel Marte.
So if you take away Ohtani, the top 5 in WAR in the NL specifically is kind of crazy. I know there's more to MVP, but I think that's a good basis. It's nobody that you'd expect behind Ohtani.
Top 5 in.
It's Ellie, Ketel Marte, Francisco Lindor, Matt Chapman, and Bryce Harper.
Wow. So Ellie De La Cruz definitely doesn't deserve MVP.
No, because I mean, his work a lot of that's defense and stolen bases. I mean, he's great player, not an MVP. Honestly, Izzy, I think you give it to Ketel Marte if the season ends today.
I think you have to. I don't disagree. Like, this is nothing against Ohtani. But the two reasons why, if I was a voter, he wouldn't get my vote is because, one, he's strictly DH. I can't give it to a strict DH unless his season's like that much better than everyone else's. And now, it just simply isn't.
To take that,
but the second reason
you can make a case with that, though. If you want to take a DH that season's that much better, Marcell Ozuna should be in the MVP conversation because he's having a really good year.
True, but
I agree.
Like with the seasons that Marcel's having, like you can't give it to Ozuna.
No, because they don't play.
The second reason why I wouldn't give Ohtani the MVP is because, with or without him, the Dodgers are still the best team in the National League.
Yeah.
By far. Ketel Marte, Diamondbacks probably aren't staying afloat right now.
No, and you sort by a lot of these stats here, OBP, slugging, homers, RBI, like the basic counting stats kind of things. Like, Ketel Marte is top 5 in most of these statistics. Like, I didn't realize how good Ketel Marte had been this year. I think you have to, if the season ended today on August 12th, I think Ketel Marte has to be considered for MVP for sure.
Absolutely.
That's a tough.
How many stolen bases does he have?
Not great. The NL was for awards this year, or at least that.
Yeah.
Ketel has
only 6,
so he's not leading in stolen bases. But I don't know. He's definitely. I think that's your guy because you look.
I don't know. I was just looking. I didn't realize
he was that good. I don't love giving pitchers.
No, I didn't realize. No, they're not. That shouldn't be a thing. That's fucking stupid. I hate when pitchers get MVP. They have their own award.
Yeah, I agree.
To me, it's the same thing with DH. Is like if their season is that much better, yes, but it very rarely has a guy's season been that much better than a hitter's.
I mean, you have to have a pretty special offensive season. So then, what about Cy Young?
I didn't realize Ohtani is
go ahead,
the NL Cy Young.
No, you can talk about.
I didn't realize that he has 32 stolen bases, and his OPS plus is like 20 points higher than Ketel Marte.
I mean, I think Ohtani has to be top 3, but I just
he's hitting 298.
Guy that plays defense.
Ozuna's hitting 301 with the same amount of home runs, and
his best year.
90 RBIs for Ozuna, 83 RBIs for Ohtani, and 81 RBIs for Ketel Marte. That's got to be your top 3, which is unfortunate because 2 of them are DH.
But, I mean, if you look beyond that, you're not going to give Matt Chapman the nod. Nobody else has really done anything to deserve it.
No, my pick was Bryce Harper, but, he's been, not the greatest.
No. So, Cy Young, because the last time we recorded, I said something that was proven wrong quickly, and I think I'm gonna not double down on it for Cy Young. Who do you guys think is the Cy Young right now? I think there's 2.
The NL Cy Young.
NL Cy Young.
I don't know, honestly, because I haven't really looked at a lot of pitchers' stats recently.
I'm looking at Chris Sale's right now, but
Chris Sale's probably the easy
13-3, 2.75 ERA with 165 strikeouts. I mean, he's got to be at least in the discussion, bare minimum.
I think he's one of your top 3.
Yes.
I think you've got to consider. Fuck, hold on, I lost my train of thought. Zach Wheeler. I mean, Zach Wheeler is always really good, but I think you also have to look at Paul Skeens. Why not Paul Skeens?
I don't disagree.
Can we
talk about a guy who has lived up to the hype? Holy crap!
Yeah.
Literally, he is.
Everybody made it a big deal. He gave up 4 runs yesterday.
He has a 2.25 ERA.
He gave up 4 runs the other day. Yeah, and everybody made such a big deal. You know you're good if you you get a big deal if you've give up 4 runs. That's crazy.
Yeah,
also, like
4 runs yesterday, and his ERA is still under 2.3, which is ridiculous.
And he's still on pace for about 150 innings this year, I'd say, unless they shut him down. Which I think, with the Pirates competing, they'd be stupid to shut him down.
He's at 92 right now, so I definitely think it's possible.
I mean, I get the whole watch his arm, but I think you got to let him eat. Like, especially.
Can I be fun and pick one?
Sure. I mean, that's what we're here for.
Hunter Green.
I was also looking at Hunter Green, and I think he's got to be...
He's way better than I thought he was.
And we get to face him tomorrow, by the way, which is not fun. But yeah, Hunter Green.
We
very
do.
Good. Very good season.
Hey.
I didn't realize he was doing that good. 2.90 ERA.
Oh, wow.
154 strikeouts, 136 in a third innings. Go Hunter Green. That's kind of fun.
I agree. So then AL.
I don't know. The Reds are weird.
Go NL.
Can I?
No, go
I
ahead.
still want to pick.
We can.
I feel like Rookie of the Year is kind of doesn't need to be talked about for the NL. I mean, you give it to Skeens because we're talking Cy Young. He's got to be Rookie of the Year, right? Like,
yeah, Skeens, which is unfortunate, but yes.
It's crazy that he's gonna kill us for the next. I don't know. It is the Pirates though, so they probably won't re-sign him, but it'd be ridiculous not to.
I think.
I don't know. They started giving out contracts a little bit.
They've been better, and I think they're entering. They've got a plethora of guys coming. I think they're entering a 6 or 7 year competitive window if they do it right. I think you've got to throw 10. 15.
I mean,
at this point, you throw everything at Paul Skeens. Every dollar you have for as many years as he wants, you give it to him. He's 22 and he's the best pitcher.
I don't disagree because, I mean, I remember he was easily the most hyped up pitching prospect since Steven Strasburg, and like you can make the argument he's been the most hyped up pitching prospect ever. But not only has he lived up to expectations, you could argue that he's surpassed most people's expectations
easily.
I mean, how many guys can say they struck out Shohei Ohtani on 3 pitches? All of them being fastballs.
Yeah, not many. I think... I know people are going to make a case about the innings, and I don't disagree. And I think Chris Sale's been great this year. And you can make a case for Hunter Green, Zach Wheeler. There's a couple other guys up there. But I think Paul Skeens has to be top 3. It's going to be a close. I mean, in the last month and a half is going to be obviously it's big for every award, but I think the NL Cy Young especially. But you got to give Paul Skeens some consideration for it. That dude's really good.
Yeah, it's like, man, I don't know. The Pirates, like, they're only 5 games out of a playoff spot, and like only if they would have done more at the trade deadline.
I like what they did, but I don't think what they did was really a push to compete. I think it was like supplemental guys. Like they got, IKF. They got Brian De La Cruz.
So they have a shit ton of injuries.
Yeah.
Like,
and Jackson.
Like everybody's injured on this team. Like, Henry Davis is hurt. Jason DeLay is hurt. Marco Gonzalez is hurt. Nick Gonzalez is hurt. Colin Holderman's hurt. Jared Jones is hurt. Johan Oviedo's hurt. Joshua Palacios is hurt. Leover Peguero is hurt. Jack Sawinski's hurt. Like, everybody's hurt on that team. So, I don't know. Like, if they get healthy, they could...
I think the Pirates are going to be around for a while. I think this is definitely not a short, fluky 1 year thing. I think they're going to be.
All they need to do is get a better first baseman because Rowdy Tellez is not the answer at first base.
Not long term, but he's been decent this year. I remember beginning of the year, people talked about how bad he was. He's definitely he's leveled out.
Yeah, which
beginning
is good.
Of June, he's batting. Oh, he's batting 308 since the beginning of June.
Oh, hell yeah.
Good, go Rowdy. No, but
go Rowdy Tellez.
AL, if you guys want to talk about that, since we're on it, I mean, I think MVP's kind of. I think that's got to be obvious.
I mean, it's unfortunate if you're not. I don't.
There's two guys. There's one or the other.
But
It's
Aaron.
I think it's between Aaron Judge and Bobby Witt.
Yes, 100%. I think you can't go wrong with either Gunnar or Juan Soto as the third guy, but they're not going to win. It's just how it happens.
And what the problem too is, I think genuinely Bobby Witt deserves it over Aaron Judge, but like
he won't get it over New York media. I know that you vote around the country, but the Yankees are the focal point of baseball every year. People, Judge is going to get that nod.
Yes.
To me, here's why I think it should be Bobby Witt, and I know we kind of talked about this. I commented this on a TikTok too because this is like really what kind of got me looking at this. If I can find it, it was from the Hot Corner show on TikTok. They were having this debate, and to me, I think it should be Bobby Witt for multiple reasons. One, he's got the Royals in a playoff contention, a Royals team that lost 106 games last year.
A Royals team that's not that great outside of Bobby Witt. I mean, they're nothing spectacular. They're not bad, but they don't. You're right. I agree. You have a good point.
Exactly. I mean, yes, Aaron Judge is amazing. He also has Juan Soto, Jazz Chisholm. When healthy, he'll have Giancarlo Stanton. I mean, he has guys that give him protection in that lineup, but if you take Bobby Witt off of that Royals team, they're probably an 80-loss team, easily.
I agree. They're about 500, yeah.
The only other competent one is Salvador Perez, which got to give props to that. Seems like old man, but he's only 33, but he's hitting 280 with 20 homers as a catcher. Like, that's really good.
Like, if you look at batting average-wise, like, their second-best hitter is MJ Melendez, last I checked.
I see.
I don't know. I haven't looked at the Royals in a while. I know that.
With life.
Right now, Bobby Witt leads the league in average with a 347. He leads the league in hits with 164. Has over 100 runs, 25 stolen bases. He's only been caught 11 times, with 87 RBI and 22 home runs in one of the least home run friendly ballparks in the league.
Vinny Pasquantino's been pretty good too.
Yeah, he has.
Their pitching's not bad. I think that should be stated. I think the biggest part about, I think you would agree, Izzy, is that it's their offense that's really not great. I think that should be mentioned because their pitching is starting pitching specifically.
Well, their pitching's insane. Seth Lugo, Michael Walker, they're all insane. Cole Reagans, but like
bullpen's good, but yeah, no, the offense outside of Sal, Pasquantino, and Witt. It's not even average. It's just not. It's not good.
Don't discredit their backup catcher. I know you love your backup catchers. I do love
backup catchers. Freddie Fermin's been fine.
Freddie Fermin's hitting like over 300.
Yeah.
Like he's actually been like I genuinely think next year they might move Salvi to first and let Freddie Fermin play catch every single day.
The offense.
Yeah, or they'll just have Salvi DH if they want. The Sasquatch, Passquatch as they call him, to play first.
He's good.
He hasn't been having a bad year. He's been pretty good.
So
yeah, I don't know.
I think it's definitely got between Judge and Witt. I think it'll be a nice. There's a good conversation to be had. I mean, from a lot of people about that.
Because I was looking at their stats. Bobby Witt this year has a 7.6 WAR, 347 average, 87 RBIs. His OPS plus is 171. Aaron Judge has an 8 WAR, 42 home runs, 328 average, 106 RBIs, and an OPS plus of 219, which is just insane. But Izzy, you're right about the whole protection with the Yankees thing. It's the same thing with Ohtani, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's close, don't get me wrong, but like I said with Ohtani, it's like he has protection in the lineup, whereas Witt doesn't. Like, Witt's the only guy that really strikes fear into that Royals lineup, and he still leads the league with a 347 average.
Yeah, he's hitting like almost 500 still since the All-Star break. Like, that's just really insane.
It's insane.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Like, he hits everything. And he hits triples, he hits doubles, he hits home runs, he gets singles, he steals bases. He's also very much so improved at shortstop defensively this year from last year. So, I don't know. Bobby Witt probably deserves it. Plus, how old is he? He's only 24.
24, I think he'll probably be 25. No, he just turned 24. So.
24 years, 59 days.
Yeah, that's crazy that he's so young. He's going to be, if he doesn't win MVP this year, he'll win MVP next year. That's just what I think. Like, obviously, you won't have this insane of a season next year, but, like, because nobody's going to hit 347.
He's got a lot of brother-in-laws in baseball. That is not important, but I'm looking at his baseball reference page. He's got 3. So, the Witt family is definitely the baseball pedigree.
Go Witt family. But yeah, he's just very, very good. And he kind of came, like, not out of nowhere, but, like, when he signed that extension with the Royals, I was like, that's kind of early, but never mind. They knew exactly what they were doing.
So, AL...
It's good for them.
Cy Young.
Oh yeah. I'm still sticking with my pick from the beginning of the year and saying Corbin Burns. I know Tarik Skubal's going to win, but Tarik Skubal is definitely going to win. He's been the best pitcher in baseball. He strikes out everybody. So yes, it'll be Tarik Skubal definitely.
But I mean, you can make the case.
Without a doubt.
Burns is definitely a good one, and I think Seth Lugo should probably get some love. He's been pretty good this year.
Did you know he has the lowest ERA, like out of starters over the last 3 years?
I did see that.
That's just insane. And like, I remember Seth Lugo in the bullpen with the Mets a long time ago,
really that
and like now he's just like, no, and like now he's just one of the best starters that have existed. Like he just threw a complete game the other day or whatever. Like that's I don't know.
I remember when he was like, I'm gonna start. I was like that. I didn't think it was a great idea, but it sure is.
Yeah.
For Seth Lugo.
But yes, Tarik Skubal is without a doubt going to win the Cy Young, which is interesting. He also only started in 2020. Man, the young people in baseball. Well, he's 27. I guess he's a little older, but like, how many strikeouts does he have this year?
Skubal?
171 already. So he'll probably get to 200, maybe 200 strikeouts.
Oh, and I think he does.
At this point, I mean, I feel like what's he done in his recent games? Does it his last 5 starts, his strikeouts go 9.8868.
Yeah, I think he's pretty. If you don't have
and he throws
in the discussion, I think more people talk about Tarik Skubal being the best pitcher in baseball right now. But he's also playing
Tarik Skubal can throw 99, and I mean Paul Skeens throws 100 too. The Detroit Tigers, man, I thought they were going to be better than they are this year, but
I apologize. I just got my power just randomly went out, and I lost connection to you guys for like a good.
I was wondering what happened.
2 minutes.
Words back. We just talked about Tarik Skubal.
Yeah, I am back. I apologize.
You're fine.
Weird.
So, you guys want to talk about the draft and then get into our baseball games that we had planned?
Oh, let's talk about the draft. Can we start with the homebody?
I think you have to.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm liking that pick.
He hits everything.
He's been off to a good start.
Yeah, the results aren't necessarily there, but I know that I've seen nothing but great things about how hard he hits the ball, and I see. It doesn't matter because it's not really a baseball thing, but I love that he's already posting. Like he posted about Victor Scott's home run. I mean, like he clearly likes being a Cardinal, and I think that goes a long way, right? Like you got to have a guy that wants to be here. I love JJ Weatherford.
Genuinely think we will see him in the major leagues at some point next season.
I do too. Towards the end of the year, I think this time next year you see JJ Weatherholt.
You don't. He's not like one of those 18, 19-year-olds that you draft. He's 22. Like he's a little older. I don't know. I genuinely think he will start the year in Double-A. He'll get a spring training invite, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And then He'll start the year in Double A, but then like rapidly move up to Triple A, and then kind of move all those other. Like you said it the other day about Thomas Sajaci, we don't need that guy anymore.
No.
No.
I mean, I like him, but you just don't. You don't need him.
Because you have Prieto, who's the other guy. He's fine, but you don't need Sajaci anymore.
So you think, Lucas, that what we're gonna see with Weatherholt is very similar to what the Pirates had with Skeens last year or this year? I mean,
I think we'll see him towards the end of next year. Yeah, I do. I think he'll play second base, and it'll be great. I'm excited for it because I feel like we haven't had like a prospect that we were like he was going to be in the big leagues the next year for a while.
I just hope he can continue to stay developed once he gets brought up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, obviously, you can't look at any of these guys as sample sizes because it's like 10 games at most. But Bazana's off to a bad start with the Guardians minor league teams.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I feel like he's still a slam dunk. I don't follow college baseball too closely, but listening to them talk about Jack, I can't say his last name. I am gonna Caglianon.
Jack
Polog, whatever the fuck. That's gonna make us sound really casual. Yeah. This guy might be the best. I mean, he hit 35 home runs in college last year, batted .419, and he's a pitcher, and he's decent. Not great, but he's decent. I'm sure they'll probably abandon the pitching, but like that's gotta scream slam dunk. And the kid, I don't know how often you guys see prospect stuff on Twitter, but I'm a nerd, so I see all of it. The kid the Angels took, Christian Moore, they drafted him out of Tennessee. His first 8 games as a professional, he's already made Double-A. He's batting .543 with 6 homers and an OPS of 1693. So that's definitely
in Double-A
across 2 games in A-ball and 6 games in Double-A.
So he played 2 games in A-ball, and they said, we're going to send you up to Double-A.
Yep, man. He batted .546 with a home run in his first 2 games, so they put him in Double-A, and now he's batting .542 there with 5 homers in 6 games. So But
the Angels do that, though. They did that with Nolan Shanuel.
Sometimes I don't love that, but this guy, I mean, obviously short sample. I see it.
Yeah. I also want to talk about the Rockies outfielder that they got, Charlie Condon, the guy that hits absolute tanks and.
Oh yeah, I love Charlie Condon.
Is going to be playing in Coors. Yeah, he's going to be playing in Coors and he hits bombs. I don't know how he's been doing or anything, but I doubt he's been doing anything impressive.
Let me
check real fast.
Sorry, I just responded to a text. Yeah, I like okay. Condon. I think he's batting .286 in Spokane. I think that
it's not bad.
I don't usually get too much into the draft, but I tried to this year. It seemed like the first 7 or 8 picks, there wasn't really. I mean, Bazana was the guy, but after that, you can't really go wrong, which is definitely not common for a draft.
I mean, I remember people being like shocked that J.J. Weatherholt fell to the Cardinals.
That was surprising because he was consensus number 1 this time last year. And obviously, a lot happens between now and then, but I think the fact that we got him.
Weatherholt's college stats were just insane, like different breed.
I think the only other guy that's worth mentioning though go ahead, Lucas. This isn't important,
but. I don't know. I think that like J.J. Weatherholt could turn into I don't know. I think he's going to be more of a contact guy, which I feel like Cardinal fans don't like for some reason. Like I feel like Cardinal fans don't like contact hitters. I feel like they always want to see home runs. Well, yeah, but the thing is like as much as people don't want to talk about the Cardinals currently, we're not a home run hitting team this year.
No,
not at all.
Like our home run leader is Alec Burleson with 20. That's our home run leader, and like he'll probably end with like 25, realistically, unless he goes on a run. But still, shout out to Alec Burleson because he's amazing. But anyway, it's like I don't know. I feel like people. What are we gonna do with Donovan?
I mean, You find a spot for Donovan. He plays everywhere. It'll be fine. It's more Gorman that gets shoved out.
Because it's like you have
glove in his bat will play anywhere.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, because you have Walker and I don't. Realistically, this is the thing I wanted to bring up too. Is do you think Lars Newbar lasts past this year here? Because he kind of sucks.
No, I think he'll be here next year. But I think if he's bad again, I think they see the writing on the wall, unfortunately. But the problem with moving him is he's such a advertised, player here. He's beloved, and I think a team you don't love moving on from that, right? I mean.
Yeah, no, but I don't know. It's just like I don't necessarily love having Victor Scott in our outfield. Like his defense is good, but like his offense is just not like he could be an amazing pinch runner in the World Series or something.
Yeah, but
Terrence Ford type player.
Yeah, but like he just can't hit a beach ball if I threw it at him. Like I don't. Like his home run that he hit was good. The double he hit the other day was fantastic against the Royals, but like he's just not the answer in center field. I really think that people always talk about outfield logjam for the Cardinals. Not really. You have Alec Burleson, who, well, I was going to say moved to first base, but like we all know, the Cardinals are going to re-sign Goldschmidt to a 2-year contract extension.
But then Burleson's only 27. Or 28, and you still put him at first base long term.
Goldschmidt shouldn't sign at all. Like he shouldn't be here past this year.
I agree.
But I know what they're going to.
I'm going to be.
He's funny.
Clearly on the decline. I don't know why they want to re-sign him.
Did you see his stats with runners in scoring position when they were scrolling on the bottom of the screen today?
They're not good.
I didn't watch the game today.
He had runners in scoring position, obviously didn't come through. This year alone, with runners in scoring position, Paul Goldschmidt is 16 for 109 with runners in scoring position.
Not great.
That's the worst in baseball. He's the worst in baseball with runners in scoring position. He's awful. Remember the away fastball that he used to hit so well when he won his MVP? He would always get to the away fastball and drive it the other way. He's hitting 145 on away fastballs this year.
He's declining.
Yeah, he's on the wrong side of 30. He's already declining this bad. It's like he does not need a new contract.
Now, I know that I shit talk.
I
know I shit talked Arenado a lot, but like I'm kind of okay with the player that Arenado is becoming. Like, if he's not going to be a power hitter anymore.
If the defense can be more consistent, it's fine. He's still serviceable.
Coming into today, he was hitting 271 with 11 home runs and like still 50 RBIs or whatever. Like obviously that's not Nolan Arenado, but if he's gonna turn into that player, I'm fine with that. He just needs to, hustle for once or something.
So
that would be.
Back to the draft. There's only one guy I wanted to talk about more. Izzy, I think you'd find this interesting. I don't know if we talked about this when we hung out, but the Mariners took a switch pitcher.
We did talk about it a little bit. Yeah.
Durangelo, I can't say his last name. He's Dutch. He's from the Netherlands. He hasn't pitched yet. I think did they sign him? Yeah, they did come to an agreement with him. But he's I think that's fun. I think anything beyond that, talking about the draft, it's too much of a crapshoot. But what'd you say, Lucas?
Yeah, the switch pitcher is.
It's interesting. Something. Like you don't see that a whole lot.
Like we know what's gonna happen. He'll get to like Double-A, and they'll be like, "Okay, cut your switch pitch and stuff."
Yeah, and he might make it. If he's a reliever, he might make a one time where he pulls it out. But no. Unless
because it's like the same with Mason Wynn. He was a two-way player, but once he got to a certain level, they were like, "Yeah." Which I still want to see Mason Wynn throw from a mound.
Oh, I think you have to one night in a blowout game, right? Like fucking let him eat big.
Well, I thought that game while we were at your house, like where Brandon Crawford pitched, I thought that was going to be the Mason Wynn pitch time, but they picked Brandon Crawford.
I see the concern because you don't want him because Mason's fiery. Like if he's out there, he's going to rear back, and you don't want him to get hurt. But like
he'll go up there and throw 95.
Still,
it'll happen at least once.
Yeah.
He's going to get an inning before it's all said and done.
Oh, yeah.
At least
it'll be a fun inning. So, do you guys want to play our Immaculate Draft, Immaculate Grid, and batter up, and then call it an episode? getting over an hour, and I know it's Izzy. You've been up all day.
Yeah, I have been up since 6 o'clock. It's been a long. Yeah, let's do it. What do we want to start with first? Draft and grid.
We'll do grid first. I'll share my screen, so we can get get this from TikTok. But pick a square, boys. We have Twins Nationals, Twins MVP, Twins played center field, Cubs Nationals, Cubs MVP, Cubs played center field, Silver Slugger Nationals, Silver Slugger MVP, and Silver Slugger played center field.
Let's go with John Lester for Cubs and Nationals.
John Lester.
It gives us 6%.
Yeah.
How much was it?
6.
6%.
Twins and played center field. I'm gonna go Johnny Field.
Yep, that's about a Josh answer.
9%.
That's the most Josh answer I've ever heard.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Lucas, you got one?
I'm trying to think of like a random Cubs center fielder, but I want to think of somebody really random.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Johnny Field probably would have worked for them.
Of course you know that. Oh, Kosuke Fukudome?
Okay. He had to have played center field, right? I know he was probably...
He was an outfielder, right?
there we go, 2%. Kosuke Fukudome.
Yeah.
For Nationals, Twins, I'll go Wilson Ramos. I could probably think of somebody... No. Change my mind. Ryan Harper. Point 1.
What is wrong with you?
How much time you got?
That all day.
Nobody can even sniff my bed in terms of MLB knowledge.
Oh, that's a little insane.
What do you got, Lucas? What fancies you?
I'm trying to think of random ass silver sluggers because I don't want to. Obviously, there's like obvious ones.
I think we can do the MVPs. Because I feel like you can't do too much. I mean, MVP Cup. Like you got Bryant's the only one that even comes to my mind, or Andre Dawson probably.
Oh, Sammy Sosa.
Okay. Oh, that might be a good one.
Sammy Sosa won MVP in 98.
16% is probably not too bad. You can't really go too rare with MVPs.
No, and for Twins and MVP, Justin Morneau.
Ooh, that one might actually be 18%. That's not bad. All right, Silver Slugger National, Silver Slugger MVP, and Silver Slugger played center
field. Nationals and Silver Slugger go with Anthony Rendon. I feel like he had to have won one.
He did. 6%.
Let's go.
Silver Slugger MVP.
Pujols.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the most popular. Well, this one's gonna be the most popular score.
Not 7%.
Never mind. Okay.
And Silver Slugger played center field. My mind's going Griffey, but you could probably do something more.
I was gonna say Griffey's probably gonna be the most common answer.
Yeah, you could definitely do something more random.
I'm trying to think. Did Larry Walker ever play center field?
I mean, it's just got to be one inning or one inning basically. So
wait. Did Lance Berkman ever win a Silver Slugger?
Oh, I'm sure.
Wait, can we do my favorite Charlie Blackmon?
Sure.
Ooh, yes, go Charlie Blackmon.
He's my favorite.
Point 3.
Yeah.
Harper. Wait, what? Did Charlie Blackmon work?
He did.
Yeah.
So we got a rarity score of 54. And we did not
really
fall under any of the most common answers. So that
Griffey was
good one. That'll be
Charlie Blackmon's my favorite. I'm so mad he's gonna retire next year.
All right, let's do immaculate draft. Pick a square.
Your thing is not loading. Your screen is not loading for me, at least.
Yeah, let me restart it. There we go. Lucas, can you see it?
Oh, there we go. Now it's better.
I do see it, yeah.
Pick a square.
Catcher.
Catcher.
All right. Name this MLB player.
I'm trying to see what year those are.
2016 on the Red Sox and 17 to the 24 on the White Sox. I know the answer, but I want to be fun.
Oh, God.
Well, they're catchers.
It's not a catcher. That's just the position.
Oh.
It's Yohan Moncada.
Oh, I forgot he was on the Red Sox.
All right, pick a square.
Luke, is that what you choose this one?
Only players to have won an Olympic medal in a World Series.
Oh, God.
Whoa,
oh, God. I'm blanking. I shared this on Facebook like 5 years ago. Don't want to have to scroll back to find this guy's name. Holy crap.
Come back to this one?
Yes, come back to it because I'm not going to... I know he played on the Orioles.
Only 2 teams to host an All-Star game, win the World Series, and induct a Hall of Famer in a 1-year time span. That's just... I don't know.
My first guess was Atlanta.
Yeah.
But is that right?
Let's see.
I feel like...
No, because they haven't hosted an All-Star game.
Because they didn't host the All-Star game. They didn't.
Oh! It's got to be the Texas Rangers. Beltray, they won the World Series, and they just hosted the All-Star game.
That's a crazy question.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's insane.
Only
That's
active player to be born in Wyoming. Yes, it was. I also know this.
Wyoming. Isn't that Nimmo?
It is Brandon Nimmo, yes.
I thought it was Pete Alonso.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know
I think
why
it's Pete Alonso.
No.
I think it's Pete Alonso.
Brandon Nimmo.
Oh, shit, I was wrong. I knew because the only reason I knew that was because he's from the mountains.
Who had the nickname Porterhouse?
Porterhouse?
It's our president. That's
where he lives, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know nicknames, really.
I don't either. Let's go to DH.
I don't know, yeah.
Name this MLB players. Phillies from 13 to 19, Guardians from 2020 to 2021, White Sox in 2021, and Nationals in 2022. Unfortunately, I am not a normal human being, and I know this right away.
I do not know this.
Lucas?
I have no idea. I should, I feel like.
Cesar Hernandez.
Oh, yeah. That's just not normal to know that.
It really isn't.
Say
spell.
It's not coming up.
It's not coming up. It's Cesar Hernandez, I promise.
I think I saw it when you scrolled down.
Oh, there it is. DES.
That's a good.
Wow.
What
happened?
Is that Adam LaRoche?
It is Adam LaRoche.
I was going to say, it looks like Adam LaRoche.
We'll take Maglio Ordonez. What team has Craig Kimbrell never played for? This should be really...
Cardinals.
Yeah.
He's never played for the Cardinals.
Hopefully that stays that way.
Shade at Craig Kimbrell.
Name this MLB player. White Sox, Giants, Yankees. White Sox from 15 to 21, Giants in 22, and the Yankees from 23 and 24. I also know this answer.
I suck at these. I wish I didn't suck at these.
Oh, I'm
trying to think.
It's a pitcher. It helps you guys any.
It's a pitcher?
It is. Lefty.
Oh, Rendon. Carlos Rendon.
Carlos Rodon.
Or Rodon. Same difference.
I know what you meant. Yes. All right, so we got... we taking Holiday or Juan Soto?
Holiday.
We different. Take Holiday.
Do we play the RBI game higher or lower at 14:04?
Hell yeah.
Higher or lower?
I feel like lower, right?
Izzy? What are we doing here? I don't know.
I'm thinking lower too.
Okay.
I feel like it's not.
Lower.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we got the Olympics question.
Who are the only players who have won an Olympic gold medal and a World Series? I couldn't tell you.
Is Eddie Alvarez one of them?
I think that is Eddie Alvarez.
Orlando Hernandez, Jose Contreras, Pat Borders, Doug Minkowitz, and Yuli Gurriel.
No.
Yeah, that would have never. Nope.
Yeah. And then Porterhouse again. I don't even.
Porterhouse.
Let's go with Daniel Vogelback just because he's fat.
Okay. It was Mike Napoli.
Really?
I've never heard that in my life.
Porterhouse.
We still ended up getting 7 right, and we had an 85 overall team, so not bad.
It's not bad.
All right.
It's really good.
And let's do this one. The batter up in the strike zone from today. Can you guys see it still, or is it still glitched?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, what are we thinking?
I want to say that's Cal Raleigh. I'm thinking Cal Raleigh.
See, this is going to be an insane comment, but he doesn't have the ass.
I was just about to say that he doesn't have enough ass.
I see what you're saying, though, because it does look like Cal Raleigh, but the ass isn't there. But you know what? It's a place to start, because maybe the ass is like... He doesn't have the ass. His name is Big Dumper. There's no ass there.
So he's American and he's from the AL, right?
Basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is that?
This is Brandon Lowe.
It might be.
No,
he's an AL East, and he's
in the AL East. Okay, an outfielder.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's not Verdugo.
Would this be the most ill-timed Jarren Duran?
There's no way.
Try Jarren Duran, honestly, because I don't know what this one looks like.
No.
Oh.
All
right, so he is not a Red Sox. He is not a Ray. I don't think this is a Yankee.
So it's got to be
an Oriole, a Blue Jay, or a...
It wouldn't be Cedric Mullins.
No, it's too high up to be Mullins. I don't think it's Santander. Because he's born in America.
Yeah. I can't think of, like...
Maybe it is a Yankee.
Well, it's not
I don't know who it would be. It's not Trent Grisham.
Is it Trent Grisham?
Want to try it?
That doesn't look like him.
I don't think so. It's too thin.
Yeah. And also, he doesn't play center. He doesn't play center
left
field.
Fielder, so.
Yeah, it's not Trent Grisham. I don't think it's a Yankee. I think it's got to be a Blue Jay or.
Okay, I'm gonna throw Dalton
on the Blue Jays
out there. It's not.
So it's got to be
fielder, and it's not,
left fielder.
It's not Dalton Varsho, so it's either a Yankee, and I don't think it's a Yankee. So this is an Oriole.
Who's their left fielder?
Because it was Hayes. Who plays left field now?
I don't.
This is bugging me now because I can't think of who plays left field for the Orioles.
And it's not Cedric Mullins because it's not center field.
Dadgummit.
Is this I don't think so, but like Ryan O'Hearn?
Try it.
It is an Oriole. It is not Ryan O'Hearn. So we have the team right.
So, but like, and he's not a center fielder, but this also could be like a. That there's no way that's Santander. That's just not.
Wait, what? Does anyone know Santander's jersey number at least?
25. It's not it.
Okay.
Wait, what is the yellow? What does the yellow number mean? Is it like within 5 each way?
It means starts with a 1.
Yeah, it starts with a 1.
It's like anywhere between 10 and 19. So it wouldn't be Mullins.
I can't think of who plays in the. I should know who plays.
Oh, is it blonde guy? That doesn't really help. Heston Kjerstad.
Oh, let's see. This is Colton Cowser, I think.
Oh,
that's who it was.
Oh,
shit. Well, okay, it was Colton Cowser.
That one was hard.
Never guessed
yes, it was. And then we'll do the last one, the strike zone. That looks so fucking familiar.
It does look
I
familiar.
think that's Mason Miller. Is that Mason Miller?
That's a good guess.
No.
Nope.
That got us nothing.
That was a terrible guess.
Oh, this is Edwin Diaz.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's
it's either yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
sorry. I knew it was familiar. Yeah.
The only reason I guess Mason Miller was because I used him a lot on the show for a little bit.
All right, let me stop sharing and we'll wrap up first because we are at an hour.
It was either going to be Edwin Diaz or Alexis Diaz or whatever his name is.
Yeah, they kind of pitched the same way.
His brother, yeah.
All right, so I think a good hour and a half there, boys. Some good baseball discourse. We got some. Say we got some exciting things coming up. We're going to be back at school. Got some in person.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks till we go back to school, which is wild.
Got some in person guests lined up. Got some virtual guests lined up.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna go hopefully back to.
Going to want to miss out.
Yeah, we got.
Hopefully go back to 2 episodes a week.
So 2 episodes a week for sure. This one should be up tomorrow. So go Don't Know Ball.
We're looking to get active on social media again.
Yeah, the social media is going to be popping. Go Don't Know Ball and don't. Yeah, the other guy.
And just don't. Yeah, the other guy. Just don't know Jack. But yeah, we don't know anymore. Yeah, honestly.
All right. Well, we weren't in front of a live studio audience today, but that'll be back soon, and we got some exciting soundboard stuff to do as well. So, go Don't Know Ball.
We are planning soundboard stuff.
No, I think it should be a total surprise.
We are planning soundboard greatness. Just know that.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great.